Hey everybody, hope y'all are doing well, hope you're staying cool. I know it's pretty hot out there. What I'd like to talk to you about today is the expository essay, so the second essay that we're going to be starting this week. So hopefully by now you've had a chance to read over those directions for the expository essay. If you haven't done that yet, hit pause on this video, go back and read those directions, and then come back and watch the video after you've done that. Now, what I'd like to talk about are a couple things. I want to go over just some things to keep in mind with this paper. We're going to talk about what exactly it is, what needs to go in this paper, and also we'll talk about some formatting things. I'm going to take a look at a few specific points that I want to highlight in the directions for this essay themselves. And then we're going to take a look at some things that you can do in a Word document to help you with the formatting to make this essay a little bit more creative and fun. So first, I'm going to pull up just a couple slides of a presentation that I'm just going to talk through with you. So let's start by just talking about what an expository essay is. What does expository mean? And I think someone brought up this question at the start of the course. Well, expository means, think about the root word here, expose. So the verb expose means to uncover or lay something bare, or to discover something in a way that others know what it is. An expository essay, then, is a genre of writing where the author attempts to explain, illustrate, or clarify something in a way so that it becomes clear for readers. So let's talk a little bit more about the purpose of an expository essay. It is not meant to argue a point or persuade readers to a certain point of view. That will actually be the next paper, paper number 3. But for the expository essay, your main purpose is to inform or explain the ideas to readers. And in this case, you are informing them about and explaining to them the specific activity or skill or knowledge set that you have kind of some insight into that a general population doesn't. And for the purposes of our essay, this essay can also entertain readers, and we'll talk more about that in a second. An expository essay uses various forms of information. So this includes statistics, research facts, personal experience, historical examples, etc. So you're going to use a few of these different forms of information in your paper. So keep that in mind. You don't just want to have statistics, you don't just want personal experience, but you want to draw from a couple of these different forms of information in order to make your paper effective. Now, a little bit more about what you should be doing in this expository essay. You definitely want to draw from your personal knowledge of your topic. After all, you're writing on something that you have some knowledge in, you've had experience with, you have a higher level of familiarity with this topic than your readers do. So definitely draw from your personal knowledge. Talk about your personal experience with the subject. That's a really important thing to do in this paper. But you're also going to find research in the library's databases to elaborate on your personal knowledge, to back up that personal knowledge with, for example, statistics or researched facts about the subject you're writing on. And we are going to talk more about how you navigate the library's databases to find information in the coming days. So you will find out a lot more about that. So don't worry if you're not too familiar with the library yet. You will be, don't worry. And then in this expository essay, you want to write the paper like a magazine article, hence the background of this slide. So you want to use formatting to make it visually appealing. You have to use at least 3 images to engage your readers. And you want to use professional language, but don't be afraid to be casual and humorous. So let your personality come through in this essay if you want. And finally, you want to think about, you want to entertain your readers as well as explain the concept or the process activity to them. So to entertain them, using visually appealing formatting, using language and a tone that is kind of fun, maybe humorous, a little more casual, those are all good strategies to keep your readers engaged and interested in your paper. So thinking about it like a magazine article, I think will help quite a bit. Okay, so now what I'd like to do, I want to take a few minutes and look back at the actual directions for this assignment. There's a few things that I want to point out to you. So let me go ahead and pull that up. Here it is. And I'll get my face out of the way. So you've already had a chance to read through all the essay directions. Now, of course, if you have any questions about it, definitely email me or post a question in the questions forum at the top of our Moodle page. I'm happy to answer it. A couple things that I do want to emphasize. In terms of the research requirements for this paper, you need at least 3 to 5 statistics or facts from 2 research sources. So these are not research sources that you can find just Googling the topic, okay? These are sources that you're going to find in the library's online databases. And as I mentioned, we will be having an online orientation so you know exactly where to go and exactly how to find this kind of information from the library. In terms of formatting, all of this is kind of the same as the last paper with the title, page numbers in the upper right corner, double-spaced, type it in 12-point Times New Roman font. We're also going to need a few more things for this paper. We didn't need these for our narrative essay because we weren't doing research. But now that you're going to have at least 2 research sources, you're going to need to do 2 different kinds of citations, both of which we'll talk about in more detail in the upcoming days. You're going to need citations for those sources on a separate works cited or references page. You also need in-text citations within your body paragraphs whenever you have a fact or statistic from a research source. So you'll need in-text citations in the body paragraphs, and you'll need full citations on the works cited or references page. Again, we'll talk about those things in a lot more detail, but I just want you to kind of be aware of that. That's another component to this essay that we didn't have to deal with in the narrative essay, in essay number 1. And then finally, the last thing that I want to point out to you on the second page, this section right here goes over in detail the kinds of things that I'm going to be looking for when I grade your essay. So for example, the first bullet here, I'm going to be looking to see that you develop a compelling introduction that engages your readers, and I'm looking to see that you have an effective conclusion that emphasizes what readers have learned. So the introduction and conclusion together are worth 10 points. So depending on how strong those are, you can earn up to 10 points for that section. So I won't read through this entire list of things that I'll be looking for when I grade your paper, but you definitely want to take a look at it, especially when you're at the revising stage, right before you turn in the final version. Take a look at this list and make sure you are doing all of these things. And don't worry, some of the things on here you may not be familiar with, like signal phrases or topic sentences with transitions. You might have questions about those things. Have no fear. We will be talking about those as well in the upcoming days. I just wanted to draw your attention to that section in your paper. So again, if you have any questions on this, please send me an email. Now, the last thing that I want to do is just go over a few different ways in Microsoft Word that you can format your essays to make it look a little bit more like a magazine article, and I'm hoping that you'll find this to be kind of fun. So I just want to show you a few things. So let's say, let's pretend this is the rough draft of my expository essay, and I want to add some images. Remember, you need at least 3 images in this paper. So you have a couple different ways to do that. First, what you definitely want to do is go up here to the top of the Microsoft Word program and click the button Insert. Then you have a couple different options for how to upload a picture into your essay. If you click just the pictures icon, you can insert a picture from your computer. So you can just upload a picture and put it into the essay where you want it to go. And you would just put the cursor right here if you wanted to upload a picture, or wherever you want it to be. Put the cursor there, then you can upload that picture and adjust the size as needed. You can also use online pictures, which is this button right here. So let's say I click on online pictures. They have different categories that you can browse through, or you can just type in something that you're looking for. Let's say I am looking for a pencil because I'm writing a paper on how to write well. Okay, I have lots of different options. This one looks good. So if I want to put this image in my essay, I just click on it. Then I click on Insert. Takes a second. Okay, here we go. Now, obviously, it's pretty large. I'm going to make it a little smaller. So I'm just going to grab one of the circles in the corners, and I'm just going to move it down and to the side so it's a little bit better size for this essay. So I think, okay, that size works. Now, the other thing that you want to do, this looks a little awkward, right, with all this white space next to the picture. If you click on this little icon, this is the layout options icon, and it helps you format the text and the picture together. So if you click on that, what you want to do is go down to with text wrapping, and if you click a couple different ones of these would work. You can kind of play around with it. But see what I've done now when I click this layout option, now my text goes right next to my picture, and it looks a little bit more professional. It looks like a magazine article. So you want to make sure that when you have inserted a picture, go to the layouts options and click on one of these with text wrapping buttons. And you can try a few different ones. Some of them will work, some of them won't, but play around with it and you'll get a sense of how to make that work well with your paragraphs in the paper. So that's one thing. The other thing that you could do, if you choose to, is you can make columns. Often magazine articles are written in columns. If you want to do that, let's see if I can remember here. You go to the layout button up at the top, and then just click on columns, and it will automatically put it into columns for you. I think 2 is probably as many columns as you want. Otherwise, it might get a little too small. But if I want 2 columns, now my paper, when I type it, it will automatically be in this column format. So if you want to experiment with that a little bit, go ahead. You don't have to, but that might be something neat to do. The other thing is you can, when you open a new document, you can use a pre-created template and kind of use that as a guide for your paper. So let me show you how to do that. If you want to go find a template to use, you click on File, then you click on New, so you want to open a new document, and you'll see this Templates page. Now you can search for templates. I tried searching for magazine article and nothing came up. I'm not sure why, but the word that does pull up some really good templates that you can use is newsletters. So try newsletters, and then you'll see a whole bunch of different options, and a lot of these look like really neat magazine articles. So you can actually use one of these newsletters and customize it. You can put in your own text, you can put in your own pictures, but it will be formatted like the template is. And that's kind of a neat way to make your document look really cool, look like something a little bit more exciting than just a regular boring old college essay. So if you want to play around with some of these templates, please go ahead. I would encourage you to try some new things that you're not familiar with yet. I think it might work out well for you. So those are the few things that I would recommend doing for the formatting options with this essay. Of course, if you have any questions about this paper, definitely let me know. In the next few days, we're going to talk a lot about different things relating to this paper. We're going to talk about introductions, thesis statements, topic sentences, transitions, forms of evidence, all kinds of things will be coming up in the next few days. But I hope you found this introduction helpful, and as always, get in touch with me if you have any concerns or questions. And I'm really excited to see what you can do with this paper. All right, thanks everybody. Have a nice rest of your day. Bye.